The Brothers of Liberty, here to remind you what true freedom is. Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Brothers of Liberty with the older brother Kelton here. Always reminding you what true freedom is and ought to be. And I'll keep saying that because people need to be reminded that freedom of speech is not censorship. It's exactly that, freedom of speech. And we have the right to say what we want. With that being said, today's video is actually a touchback from a video I did in December for a ex CNN producer, John Griffin. Just a little reminder, if you don't know who John Griffin was or heard his story, he was the CNN producer that was telling parents on Zoom calls to bring their young girls and daughters to his mansion so he could train them on how to have sex. Yes, as young as 9 years old. Um, and yeah, very disgusting. They should chop off his dick and be done with it. But we live in a civilized age. And well, now there's no trial date set for this yet, but there is another development that happened in January. I haven't been able to actually talk about it till March, and I do apologize for that with everything else that's been going on. But the article itself came January 11th, and it was actually a suit filed against him for $15 million, a civil lawsuit. The suit was filed on behalf of the 9-year-old girl, and they're calling her Jane Doe. Um, Now, he was also charged with sex trafficking as well, and the charges that will come up in his trial. He was arrested for soliciting young girls. Now, in the lawsuit, it says that he solicited young girls, including the plaintiff, for the purpose of not only persuading, inducing, inciting, and coercing them to engage in sexual activity, sexual exploitation, and or sexual trafficking, the lawsuit alleges. Like I said, it was filed on behalf of the 9-year-old and the custodial of the next best friend, Janet Doe, because the mothers also got arrested too because she allowed it to happen, which, yeah, they should do things to her too, but we live in a civilized society. Um, now, since now I agree and disagree with this lawsuit. I agree, yes, the girl has suffered a lot, but the $15 million should be put in a trust for the young girl. I don't know if the best friend, Janet Doe, as they call her, is doing this on behalf of the young girl or saying that she maybe could try to make a quick buck. But any determination of lawsuit should go in a trust fund for the young girl. Um, yeah, maybe a little bit to be siphoned out for um, her throughout life to make sure she is taken care of, but the majority of it until she's 18 years old. And there should be a monitor to see that the money is actually being given to her during her teenage years and minor years, and not the best friend. I'm not saying the best friend doesn't have the best intentions, but it sounds kind of fishy that this person's doing it on behalf of the 9-year-old girl. What their motivation behind it. Now, if it's just pure motivation to get this girl money and stuff and maybe help raise her, then by all means. But human nature and me being speculative and not trusting is kicking in there. But that's an update on that. There's no further updates on John Griffin. There's also another CNN producer that I am looking at too, and there's been no further updates on him either. But other than that, like I said, I'll still keep following the John Griffin because all these sick people need to be brought to justice. Um, and oh, I wish we were back in the medieval days and just solve it with a sword chop, right? But that's just my opinion on it. What's your opinion? Like, share, comment. If you have any questions, or I'm sorry, if you have any topics you want us to discuss, Brothers of Liberty 76 at gmail.com. We'll love to hear from you. And once again, this is the older brother of Liberty reminding you what true freedom is and ought to be.